Now, one last thing I want to bring up to you, Ethan, is the state that the DC, because we talked about Marvel, MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know that DC is going through some changes as well. You got James Gunn in charge now. And recently, I think, well, DC Comics and DCEU is completely different. Recently, for DC Comics, Jim Lee has been promoted to president, publisher in chief, and creative officer. So there's that, and then there's James Gunn and Zaslav heading the DCU, the cinematic DC universe. So, and of course, James Gunn, one of his first acts was to get rid of Henry Cavill and then start talking about making Superman Legacy. So I guess my question to you is, A, what do you think of this new leadership at DC Comics, with Jim Lee heading up the being president of it? And two, what are your thoughts on James Gunn leading the new Superman Legacy movies? Like, are you excited? Do you have doubts, or are you kind of like, ugh, like I don't know what this is gonna end up like? What are your thoughts on all of that?
So, Jim Lee being promoted to president doesn't seem like it's much of a change, really, because he's been in a leadership position for so long. I was there when he was co-publisher or something like that. I don't remember what his title was, but he shared it with Dan DiDio. DC, to me, seems to be in a state of treading water right now. And I say that with love. I don't see a vision. I don't see a unified vision for where to go with these characters moving forward, which is something that Dan DiDio always brought to the table.
Mm-hmm.
You could disagree with him, but he'd say, this is called the New 52. This is called Convergence. This is called Rebirth. And this is the new initiative that DC is going through, that everybody is going to be a part of to make our books all sell in conjunction with one another. And I don't see that at DC, because I don't think that Jim Lee is that. I think he's a visionary, but I don't think he's that kind of a visionary. He's not an editor. He's not an editor. He's an artist, and that's a fine thing. He's a designer, and that's where his strength lies. And I think DC promoted him because they don't want him to get away. He's such a good artist, such a good designer. They put him to work. He mostly draws everything.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't want him to get away. Yeah, like I see DC Comics just kind of treading water with only Batman books selling, continuing to make characters gay until every single... your boy Zach made a really good... They're all gay. Your boy Zach made a great video, Comics Matter with your boy Zach. Go subscribe to his channel. He made a great video where he points out that basically SJWs have viciously made every single legacy progeny of big DC superheroes homosexual in some way so that they will not breed. The most vicious of these situations, Superman. Kal-El comes from Krypton, last survivor of Krypton, okay? He grows to adulthood somehow, finds that he can breed with the local population of humans. He impregnates one of them. And so, 8 billion Kryptonians who died in an explosion have to witness in horror as Jonathan Kent is a homosexual. The guy who could bring back the Kryptonian race likes to put it in guys' butts. So
God,
it's true. Like, that's it. That's the end of the bloodline of Kryptonians, because leftists are so stupid. They're so goddamn stupid that like they would do that. Like, that is a horrible, horrible story choice, a horrible idea. You have doomed Kryptonians with this choice. For that, fuck you. And every single one of these characters moving forward seems to be asexual, gay, bisexual, lesbian. None of them are breeding. None of these characters are breeding. If you talk about something like Superman Legacy, let me ask you something, James Gunn, another guy. You're another one over there with your weird, fidgety, bizarre sexual politics. What do you mean Superman Legacy? What is his legacy? His only son is gay. He's not going to have a legacy. I mean, what do you want? Like, this is so stupid. Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be fantastic if like Superman had a grandson? Well, he never will. He never fucking will. And you know what? We got to sit there and watch Superman go, I'm so glad my son is gay and he gets to be himself. Give me a hug, son. I'm so proud of you. Can you impregnate somebody, please?
Oh
Jesus
my God.
Christ.
You know what? Like, you know what drove me nuts,
What?
Ethan, when I saw Superman? Like, because I went through a whole crazy phase when it was like what during COVID, but when I saw Superman wearing a mask and like saying like like, I was like, this motherfucker's from Krypton, y'all. Like, what the fuck? Like he's not gonna be wearing a fucking COVID mask on his face. He like kryptonite. Like that is his
He
fucking
would,
thing that
yes,
makes
the
him
germs
fall.
would not make, he doesn't get a cold. He's not human. He's not susceptible to that kind of a virus, you idiots. He doesn't need to wear a mask.
No,
But
I
he's
mean,
setting a
neither
good
do we,
example. Yeah, we don't need to either. That's right. I
but not
mean,
especially not Superman. And then meanwhile, he's like, let me go to like the gay pride parade and like they've got the fucking signs up and shit. And I'm like, this is what's happened to
that's a
Superman.
magnificent cover. Like if you look at that cover that you're referring to, where Superman and Aqua Glad
Mm.
are sitting there, gay Aquaman are sitting there like protesting, like behind them, and that same thing. There's a fucking kraken that's tearing a boat apart, and they're holding signs up, protect the climate. Get to work. What the hell is wrong with you? Go
I
save the
told you
people
find
on the
that.
boat. Oh my
So
God, I just want to fuck. Sorry, Nina. I know
no,
this is your
please.
channel. I don't mean to.
It really oh, there it is. Okay, I found the cover we're talking about because it was ridiculous. Like I'm seeing this and I'm seeing Superman wear a mask and I'm like, is this really what it's come to? Is this where we're at now with Superman of all fucking superheroes? He's Superman.
What the fuck is this? There are people dying behind you, you assholes. Who drew this?
The fucking Aquaman is like standing there like, isn't this your territory, bro? Like this is a
I
fucking
love DC Comics so much. This is why this drives me nuts. I worked at that company at a time when responsible editors were working there, and they would have rejected this cover. See, that's the thing. They taught me what superheroes were because I was doing Cyberfrog, and Cyberfrog was like Deadpool. Cyberfrog would do whatever the fuck he wanted, bitch smack old ladies and stuff like that.
Mhm.
When I worked for DC Comics, they taught me what these superheroes were, what they represented, how they would always put other people before them, and they needed to always be acting heroically.
Mhm.
Those editors are gone. They were
Mhm.
fired. And this is what we have now, right here. We got this going on right now. Save the people in the goddamn boat, Superman. Superman, if you could just tear yourself away from your pink-haired twink for 1 second, if you could stop licking testicles for a fraction of a minute and stop the Kraken from killing the people on the whaling ship or whatever that is back there, the yacht.
Meanwhile, this motherfucker saying there is no planet B. So
Yes, there is. It's a fucking. There's 52 different alternate Earths. Jesus Christ.
So they want to no, but that's the thing. This sign makes it so that this is the real planet. Like this is ours. This is ours.
My wife's gonna come down here and be like, "What is going on down here?" Any second now. You're waking the kids up. This drives me
Oh,
insane.
Auntie Andrea.
Oh my God, this
Yeah,
drives me nuts.
this is what they're trying to tell us is that this is our planet. There's not even a planet B. So this is us. We're fucked. Our Superman's gay. Yeah. We're all fucked. This is what's going on. And
So
it's
you
all
ask me,
terrible.
how were things at DC? Not good.
Not
Not good.
good.
And by the way, I mean, seriously, somebody, Jim Lee, sit down and talk to your stupid creators over there and start to get them in line. You represent the legacy of superheroes. They need to be admired. They can be gay if they want to, whatever the fuck, but that needs to be secondary. Okay. We'll deal with that later. They need to be admirable heroes who put themselves second, put humans first, and always save the day.
But now,
Heroes.
Ethan, that's one of the things that James Gunn has kind of been spouting. Like that, I want to bring back Superman to, the American way, truth, justice, and the American way. I want to bring back Superman to what we knew. He's saying all the right things about Superman. Do you believe him?
I want to know what he was doing on Epstein's Island. Okay? That's what I want to know. What were you doing there, James? And you come, you know what? You tell us what you were doing on Epstein's Island, and then I'll talk about Superman with you.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on?
That's fair. I mean, that's a fair question. I didn't know he was on there. Shit. He is saying that Warner Bros. He says James Gunn explains Warner Bros. Will not be providing notes on Superman Legacy, reveals that Warner Bros. And DC Studios are two separate entities. So again, he's saying all the right things that people want to hear. Like, you know, DC is not going to make it woke or whatever. There's just certain things that are, you know, above their heads, which is basically what's happening with this character. So I think that it's just all very interesting. I personally am kind of like Anna. I cannot believe they got rid of Henry Cavill. I cannot believe that was his first decision to get rid of Henry Cavill. But I also like the things he's saying about Superman, because that's the Superman I grew up with, the hero. What you're describing, he's the hero, the one that wants to save lives. Not this specifically, this one, like not the Zack Snyder Henry Cavill Superman.
You know who else who said this? You know who else said this same shit about Superman? Bryan Singer said the same shit about Superman. Do you think this is a coincidence? You know what's going on in Hollywood right now?
Tell me.
Parties with little boys. I'm tired of it. And all these people we love Superman. Oh, yeah, we love Superman. Hiding in plain sight, an open secret.
Ooh.
Thank you.
No, it's that's fine, because that's how I feel about the Flash, Ethan. I feel like the only reason Ezra Miller has a job is because he knows where the moles are on every single one of those motherfuckers' bodies. That's why.
That was a thought. Yeah, that's something to that. I think.
What's going on, Ethan? You've been so wonderful. Thank you for being here.
Was that a good performance, Nina? Did
I
do a
love
good job?
it. Absolutely. Okay, you are a fucking king, man.
It's a slow build until the volcanic eruption.
Yes, we're here for it.